welcome to Canvas and Conversations. This is a platform for creatives where we delve into their stories, their journeys, and most importantly, their processes. So today with me, I have Michael Parry. So we'll let Michael introduce himself to us.
Okay. I'm Michael Parry, a graphic designer. I do a lot of other stuff as well, but I think we will stick to just the graphic design. I've evolved to become a brand and marketing strategist as well. And I have other experiences in the corporate field. I don't want to go there today.
You want to know how this whole journey started for you?
I think class 2 or so, a friend of mine gave me a storybook to read and I saw this image at the page. I think there was a guy on a motorbike. It looked so good, like I really wanted to trace this thing. So I asked him, oh, can I trace? He was like, oh yeah, feel free. Then he went out to play football. So during break time, they were playing football and I was tracing. I don't know what happened. He came back. I don't know who got him angry. After break time, the guy was pissed when he came inside. Then he started fighting with me that why have I traced the storybook? I was like, you gave me the permission to. I asked you, and he said I can go. I was like, no. So I had to buy the storybook for him. After that, I couldn't pay. So I think I used about 2 weeks to pay my feeding fee for 2 weeks. So if I counted, I'll save. So it took me like 2 weeks before I paid him out. Yeah, I paid. So that was when I realized I had that passion for graphics and all those stuffs. But I didn't pursue it though. I was still learning. My mom wanted me to be a doctor. In those days, when you're coming to fill your forms, I think your future, the job you want to do in future, your parents will come and fill it for you. And they were saying a doctor. When I got to GHS and I was about to select the senior high school that I'll be going to, then my mom was like, at home they do call me daddy. So my mom was like, oh daddy. I said, oh yeah, dear, why didn't I call visual or SS? And I was like, man, I didn't mean me there. Me some who's there. So that was what I told her. So right from that spot, like I took visual art out because I felt I had something about it. I had a knowledge about it. Then I went with my father's option. Now the funny thing here was my dad I had an uncle. That was my dad's cousin. He was rich. Okay, so this was the scenario. The end time, if my dad was using a Picanto, the uncle of mine would be using Toyota Corolla. By the time my dad gets to Toyota Corolla, he would be using a Highlander. So he was always ahead of my dad. So I was like, Dad, you're a civil engineer. You want me to become like you? But my uncle, who is an accountant, is always a step ahead of you in terms of finances. So as a child, I thought probably being an accountant is more lucrative than being a civil engineer. So this is what I did. So I started, I got SHS, admission to SHS at St. John's Grammar. That was Accra. So for the first year in school, my dad thought I was offering science so that I can become a civil engineer. I've changed it to business because I want to become an accountant. So me, I'm studying business. My dad thinks I'm doing science. So the report came, and normally those times you'll be in school and they will send a report to your parent in the house. So I was in school, I think it was one Sunday, Vodafone, we used to call through the landline. There was a landline, phone booth, Vodafone phone booth. I called and then, Daddy, let me contact for your sign. So why are you doing business now? I had to explain plenty. But what saved me was that that very particular time I did well. My report really looked good. So the complaint wasn't that much. So during SHS, the drawing and graphics part never came. It was only one part where I used to have this drawing of Mickey Mouse those days. Then I pasted it on my bed. So if anyone comes to my dormitory, once you see that Mickey Mouse there, Michael. Those days, Michael was also Mickey. So you see that drawing on my bed, that's my bed. So I think that was the only drawing, the only thing I did back in SHS that was near graphic design or something. After SHS, the tertiary journey began. After that time, I had started designing small. But I didn't know the two. That was a challenge. That was my biggest challenge. But I think one of the things I'm doing currently with my design agency is I'm looking forward to grooming people, like establishing an academy where I'll teach people who wants to learn how to design yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that because I had it raw from the beginning. I had to reach out to people on Instagram, asking them. I was just asking of the software they are using. So then and it will marvel you that as at that time, people were gatekeeping. You ask them of the software there. No one ever mentioned of Photoshop to me, I'm telling you.
Looking at, hearing you talk about all this, it looks like you didn't really get into this at a very early age. But what do you think has been the driving force for you? Because it looks like it wasn't really something you wanted to do. So what do you think drives you to do this?
I think is the joy it gives me, this sense of fulfillment. Okay, so anytime I'm able to complete a design project, I feel like I've achieved a lot. I don't know for other people, but for me, it gives me that joy.
So it's a joy for you.
Exactly. Anytime I come to, I feel like okay. So those days, if I see anything, I'm like, now let me try and replicate the design with no guidance from anyone. If I'm able to do it, like, yo, Michael, you're a genius. How did you do this? So that self-fulfillment and satisfaction that you get.
At what point do you feel like I'm done with this work? This work is complete. Because being a creative myself, sometimes you especially when the project is a personal one, you never feel that now I'm done with this. You always feel there's something you can add to it. So at what point do you feel like now I'm done with this work? This is a complete work.
Okay. So let me start from the client's point of view. At first, I used to add a lot of elements to my design, sometimes unnecessary elements, just to make it look nice.
Okay.
But I've grown to a point where I realize that the main purpose of design is to solve that communication problem. So once I achieve that basic objective, any other add-ons is just like a complementary to it. So I send to the client and the client's feedback will tell. Okay. Some client they want something extra. Meanwhile, the problem has been solved, so I'll try and talk to you. Yeah. So once that problem is solved, the message you are trying to communicate is out there. Everything is well detailed. Okay. That's in the aspect of the flyer. I think that is it for me. And most of the times, if you send it to clients, the sort of reply that comes, sometimes it's just they don't go like, wow. Yeah. Because sometimes you send some of your works and you feel like this is not my best. I wasn't really in my element, but the response from the client will make you that this thing still they do. Yeah.
So many people have a whole lot of ways of communicating, and then I believe what might communicate a whole lot to you might not communicate anything to me. So do you let's say target a particular audience when you're creating your art or something?
Okay, so I think I discovered this through my journey as a graphic designer. Okay. I've realized I don't know if this thing I'm going to say is going to make me lose certain clients, but my designs are geared towards certain kind of clients. So basically, if you become a portfolio in my work experience, you realize I do more of corporate works, more of corporate designs. I'm geared towards that direction more because I think I love working on brand designs, brand identity, logos. That's where I normally do most of my work towards. And I think I do a bit of motion graphics as well. Yes. So normally those are my kind of audience or my kind of clients I look forward to. Yeah.
I see. So what are some of the biggest works or some of the biggest works you received? Let me put it that way.
The biggest work or the biggest paid work, because they are all different in my.
So you can take them.
The project that to be the biggest didn't pay me the highest amount. Then the project that paid me the highest amount probably when I'm ranking my works might not be. Yes. So this is where the contrast is. I can put it into, even looking at my best work ever, I can put it into two categories. Then the best paid work for that one is one. I think my best paid work, it wasn't paid by a Ghanaian, that one. Definitely not a Ghanaian. It was an international gig. But I think there was an NDA enough for me to disclose.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, but I can give the location. I think it was for a health facility in UK, Derby County.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in Derby County. That was 2021, 2022, thereabouts. Yes, that was my highest paid gig. I think with that, I nearly quoted my price first. But the person did the booking through my website. And when you're booking through my website, there's an option where you get to state your budget for the project. Now this person quotes the budget, blah 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 in dollars as well. Cool down. Then I held on to my figure. Then I replied, I sent a mail like, we are good to go. Like that amount is it. We are good to go. And sincerely speaking, that's my less stressful project ever I've worked on my entire career. I think I was doing that design with the mentality of me presenting to a Ghanaian client. When I say Ghanaian, I know that I'm underrating them or put them in certain box, but a typical Ghanaian client,
respect so much.
When they pay you high for a work, they want to see a lot of things in it. They are not looking at their problem is solving. Okay, so I wanted to I made the logo so complicated. I put so many elements. I sent you like, nice job. Kindly take this out. Kindly take this out. And then they look something simple, like an S. Then just like the letter S for small.
And they still paid you your money.
I was like, so this is all you wanted? Like in my head, this is all you wanted. I said, like, perfect. And they still paid me my money. I was like, so this design journey can be this less stressful and smooth like this. So for the best paid work, I think it goes to them. But for my best projects, to me, my biggest project I've worked on was it was on a billboard. I think that's the second largest billboard in West Africa. It's in Edum Kumasi. I worked on that project for a global group of companies. That's at that time I was with them. That was for the restaurant supermarket Uptown. So, and I happened to be the designer who got my artwork on that billboard first, the whole of Ghana. I think my artwork was the first to be pasted on that billboard after they mounted it. And the second largest in West Africa. So to me, that's like my biggest project. You know that big flex thing. What's West Africa's second largest billboard? It was my artwork that was placed on it first. So you know that flex. But when we talk of impacts in terms of the design, my biggest project would have been like the brand design I did for supermarket restaurants. Okay. I've done a lot of brand design for other companies, but you know, some of these companies, they are still growing, they are not getting there. But with supermarket, the impact it has had, that is what made me feel that that's my biggest, because the logo alone, anything related to supermarket, the logo, the brand design, color definition, uniform design, packaging design, like it was a whole project, and the customers related to it, the feedback
and it still didn't pay as much as the foreign.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. But the impact it created makes it
So talking about that, is it about the impact for you? Is about the bucks?
Okay, it depends on the level of your career. I'm telling you. I think
me personally, about you. Yeah.
Currently, I'm after the bucks. Yep. The one who comes with a big bag, you get it. Okay.
So will you compromise on the quality of your work?
Never.
Just to satisfy it?
Never. So mostly, I get clients reaching out to me and be like, "Oh, Parry, I want you to work on this one. Can I get it tomorrow or the next 2 days?" Ideally,
that's crazy.
So I definitely need time to work on this, because normally I do research as well before I come out with sketches and that. So if you want me to deliver within 3 days, sometimes I do explain to them, and people are like, "Oh, fine, there are 1 or 2 instances where I've compromised and delivered within that time." But within me, I knew, this wasn't my best work. You could have gotten a better one than this. So with that one, so right now, I'm in for the bucks. I'm in for the bucks. You come with a big bag, you get it. But I'm not putting impact aside. You pay me big bucks, I deliver, and I'll make sure that project makes an impact. There are a lot of other projects I've done that are huge, but I don't want to talk about all of them. As I said, there are a lot of, I don't know, certain companies in Ghana work with you and they just don't want people to know you are behind it. So for those people, I don't want to mention their names. I remember there was one company in South Africa, the same thing. I was working for them remotely, but I was not supposed to disclose. I was the one behind the designs and like that. So yeah, but for the one I can publicly say without getting problem is my own people. So my family, so I don't think there will be a problem with me.
Yeah. Have you ever been at the point when you doubt yourself, or has anybody made you doubt yourself before in terms of your work, putting yourself in this creative space? Have you ever doubted yourself, or do you doubt yourself sometimes?
A lot of times. Sometimes. I think there was a time I had a creative block for like almost a month.
Oh.
Yeah. For almost a month. And I had to personally tell my boss, at that time I was in a company, tell my boss that the state of mind I'm in currently, I might not be able to design for like the next week or next 2 weeks.
And you understood?
You can't, as we say, you can force the horse to the river, you can't force it to
drink.
No matter how pleased you be.
But is it something natural for you? Does it always take so long for you to get out of it?
I think I did highlight that one because that was like
the biggest one.
The biggest. It was that serious. And the other one came in, that one I had a relief, okay? So there was a time I worked on, I think there was a time Kiddy released a track, Touch It. I'm sure you know that track. The title is Touch It.
Yeah.
So the song was really popping. Then one day I was like, okay, let me create a motion graphics for this. I think it was about 30 seconds motion graphics for it. As I did the project, I think I finished around 12 p.m. I replayed the thing and it looked so nice to me. Like I was very happy. You know, if I tell this to you, I replayed the thing over and over till 5 a.m.
Wow.
Before I went to sleep. Like I was into the project. I'm like, I did feel it. I feel like this they are do one. You know, normally when you cook something like that, you expect that when you post the next day, you get a lot of reactions. After that, I was even posting on my WhatsApp stats. So normally if I post designs on my stats, I feel like, oh nice. That's at 12 p.m. No comments. On my WhatsApp stats. My whole spirit went down. For real, like I was like, the work is not even worth it anyway. Like up all night, feeling that you've done a massive work. So that evening, I posted on TikTok. That I wasn't really frequent, like regular on TikTok. So I just posted it on TikTok. I remember this. That was December 2021. Then I think the next morning, I had a message from one guy called Jack Knight. He said, "Hello, yeah. The touch is on blah 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 blah." He would like that time NFT was a new thing. I was now learning about NFT. I hadn't fully grasped the whole thing. We are working on an NFT project for Kiddy, and I love that video you did. I want you to jump in. Yo, wait, is this first style or something? He said the moment that made me doubt him was he said, "Oh, he's the one who manages Kiddy." And I'm like, yo, we all know Richie Menza manages Kiddy.
Serious.
They were like, no, it's Richie who manages Kiddy. I'm in Ghana, I know of Links. You must say, yeah, do you know of Links Entertainment? I know Richie. So he had to send me screenshots of, and truly, he was managing Kiddy. As at that time, Ghanaians didn't know about it. It wasn't like in a public space. So he was in charge of his distribution outside Ghana.
Okay.
So all those times, Kiddy's songs were penetrating globally. He was behind it. So I had to go and do a profile check on him, and I realized he has worked with the likes of Jennifer Lopez, PDD, Notorious B.I.G. Whoa! Then I think I took my phone after I was doing my top-up at KUST. I texted my people, my parties, Jessica. I told them I'm stopping school. Like I told them I'm not right. End of September. Yeah. I hit Jacob. Like NFT projects. I know I'm like, senior. I told them, say I shown the school. Like made them go. Me, I don't go school again. Sure. After that, I think of houses, cars. Like what I go take the money to. I figured that was the end of my design journey. Like I reached that.
Hey,
and Jack didn't stop from that. He redirected me back to IG. We continued our chat for there. He was damn serious about the whole thing. I was surprised. The next day we kept chatting. Blah, blah, blah. So now let me tell you what break the whole thing. And I would advise every creative to work on that. So it was going on well. Because he's in the UK, I'm in Ghana. I think he's in US, yeah, New York, yeah. And I'm in Ghana. And then it got to a point where he asked me, how much do I charge? And I made him know I charge per project in the service I run. I don't have fixed rate. For that one, it's true, I don't have fixed rate. Then he went ahead to ask, am I on Upwork? I'm sure everyone knows. Upwork was like 5 at those days. And I was like, no. I was like, wow. I never heard from him again. The next day I chatted him. Till now, he's not replied to. So I'm sure probably he was also thinking, maybe this guy is probably not trustworthy. Maybe he'll take my money. You know, just
it could have been that it was
so I think of a whole lot of things, like he actually liked the project. He wanted me to jump on this NFT thing. So all of a sudden, what happened? We were ready to know my price. So I did think about this a lot, but I learned a lesson from it that I need to make sure I'm all available platforms. I don't actually know the reason, but that's what I'm thinking collapse the whole deal. Now, I learned a lesson from that. And prior to he reaching out, you see, I posted a thing and after 12 p.m., no one had replied online. So I took a decision that time and it's still active in my life now. Till date, if anyone view my WhatsApp status, I won't see it. If you view my WhatsApp, I won't know whether you've seen it or not. Since then, I muted all my views. Because if I see that I've posted a work and I look at the viewers, there are certain people in the creative space on my contact list that I'm probably expecting feedback from. They view and they don't comment, they don't say anything, just like the Kiddies project. It actually brings my spirit down. And there's a saying, so if I don't see anyone, sometimes I can presume no one even saw it. Then I'm cool. So that's how I've been dealing with that from then till now.
So I was about to ask you about your favorite failure, but I believe it will be this.
The favorite
failure. I'm sure it will be this because you rented us from this too.
Yes.
So moving on.
I went out some Bugatti then.
Yeah, you're up in time. Moving on, is it about inspiration for you or discipline? Do you always create through inspiration, or sometimes you just have to discipline yourself, even if you don't have any inspiration, you just have to discipline yourself and create?
Generally speaking, if I'm to go by discipline, there are times you come up with concepts, you yourself know that sorry, if you're in a crime, you do the people reject it. So inspiration talks it for me, but you can't take out discipline as well.
Okay. That's true.
You only need to have a design process. I have a design process. But normally a design process, once I define my brief, the problem, I do my research. Before I do the sketch, I need to get inspiration from other places. And I think when I started this journey at first, I used to get inspirations for free. If I should tell you some of the weirdest ways I used to get inspiration, you might even be surprised. So mostly when clients do contact me for projects, after talking about everything with them, they define their problems. I go to sleep. Normally before I wake up the next day or the next 2 days, some way, somehow, I see that project in my dream. Like how to go about it. Sometimes even flyer where I should position this image. So when I said my day, that was where I was getting most of my. So sometimes I'm like, see, I do it like offer free. How did you? I can't explain, but so I just slept and I saw it. Okay, but now I don't get those things anymore. Okay, now it's more of what I see. Because as a designer, what you feed your eye is what you bring.
Yeah.
So normally, if you see me in a car with you, don't think I'm looking at the vehicle. I'm looking at the billboards. I'm looking at the sign. If I go to the shopping mart with you, even before I buy a product, I'm looking at the design. I think it happened to me at ShopRite. Yeah. I bought a work product because of the design. Okay. So we were two. The person insisted, can you go for this? And I'm like, I just want to, the design is very nice. Look at the packaging design. It's going to be a nice.
let's take it as your works had a voice. Your works had a voice. What do you think they would have said back to you?
Like you're actually a good creator.
Mhm.
I think that's what you're going to say to me. But I think for my laptop, it will probably be begging for a retirement. Anytime I look at my laptop, I'm like, boss, you thank God. And if anyone asks me what the capital I start with, it's just a laptop. And that laptop has been with me since, I think, for so many years, since 2017 or so. Yeah. Once I have the laptop and the idea comes, how designers will do it, I edit it, and I have a background in business administration as well. So, accounting, no need for any other. I do marketing as well. So I'm like, I do my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. So what do you think is the most hardest part of being a creative?
I think one of the notions that I don't know, my fellow designers might not like me for saying this, but I think being a graphic designer or being in a creative space in Ghana currently is more like, unlike other professions like being a doctor, it's more like you are not relevant.
Mhm.
And we are trying to prove to people that we are relevant.
Okay.
But I'm against that. Okay, why try to prove to people that being a graphic designer, you are that relevant? It doesn't really matter. Once you solve a problem for the person will know the level of priority or importance they have to place on you.
Yeah.
So deliberately, I will not push that agenda and make a flyer. Graphic designer is important. But make sure you pay us what our work is worth.
Okay.
So I normally do say this a lot. I'd be like, okay, you've heard of McParry Designs. Yeah, McParry Designs, you want to work with me or you want me to work on something for you. You reach out to me, I quote my price and you be like, hey, it's too high. I've worked with this designer before. I'm like, senior, boss, he could be like the best designer in the whole world. If he's charging you 1 CD, you can pay. But once it's McParry, if the design will be nice, if it be nice, if I say 10 CD, 10 CD. If you know if you pay 10 CD, move to the next design. Okay, so everything about this design thing, I think it's very challenging in this space to be sincere. Mm-hmm. So most designers are always trying to prove their points. Oh, we're important, creatives are important. I think that's one of our biggest problems, and we are not paid well enough. Yes. And coming on that, being paid well enough, your skill alone is not enough. Let me stress on that. Being a good graphic designer alone is not enough. You need to have knowledge in other fields as well to complement you. So I always say my best leverage in life that has helped me in this design space is the business aspect of it. I have a background in business administration, a bit of accounting. So I treat my graphic design journey with all this. Even if I'm done with the project and I'm presenting to you, I don't just send profiles. I send documents, I explain. And I even love it more if you go for presentation.
Okay.
I love it that way. When I started doing social media management, it was the same thing. I think a lot of people think social media management is just about posting. But me, when I'm handling your page, I give you monthly reports and the various metrics will be explained. This figure. So the figure you might see in your metric that you might think is low, by the time I'm done explaining, you realize it's actually worth it. It's not that. So if we don't know that aspect of it as well, you present a nice work to the client and the client might never know the importance of it. I think definitely if you find another time for me to explain some of my projects, then I think some of them you'll be like, wow. But sometimes there are some logos I've done, people see that me logos. I think when I finish explaining the concepts behind it, what inspired it, you'll be like, okay. Then you realize those logos are worth bucks, a lot of bucks. Because if I can design a logo that looks like an S and get paid my highest ever amount, then you can imagine these logos I'm doing for companies in Ghana that I'm getting, yeah. So every creative out there, senior, boss, madam, your skill alone is not enough. It won't take you anywhere. It will just fetch you the minimal amount of money. But you want to scale up to the next level.
Education.
Example is what happened to me with Jack Knight. Imagine I was on Upwork at that time. Bingo, like right now, as I the kind, like I will come with the Bugatti.
That's yeah, I see. So basically, you need to be educated, well informed. Actually, yeah.
The space that you're creating, make sure you are not necessarily going to school about it, but just fetch for information.
There are so many things you need to learn about it.
No one sat me down to teach me design. In my story, no one till date. Everything I do, everything you see out there, self-taught, passion-driven. So information is out there. It's up to you.
So in light of that, what's the weirdest thing a client has said to you? The weirdest thing.
I think someone has pissed me off. I'm trying to. There are some clients, the response they give you.
Just one of them, the weirdest one, you think?
I've forgotten, but I think some time ago, in my early stages, I sent a work and the person was like, "Is that all?"
Oh.
Hey.
That's hard.
I think that was, those times I used to design with PowerPoints. Hey, I thought I've knew that, and they were like, "Is that all?" Like,
oh.
Yes, written something like that.
Probably they had worked with a lot of people and then they saw a lot of people.
I don't know. But that really called me. That was a long time ago, like 2018, 2017, thereabouts. You keep that one. Let's sit down, do this thing. You had this journey, you had. If you be creative where you not get strong mentality, I tell you,
I see. So imagine your whole journey as a film or a movie. What do you think you would title it?
The movie not end yet to make a scene the movie I would feel. Because I don't know how to put it, but currently I'm on the rise. I'm looking at I normally watch series. I don't like one thing. I'm looking at a series that I like, that I can read to this one. Could it be Once Upon a Time? I think, Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, it's a series. So that series was like two folks. There was a part where they were in the wilderness, and the other part was happening in the city, but the same characters.
Okay.
So I would liken my own to that, because there are many times I found myself trying to be loyal to design, but the corporate institutions will come for you as well. So I'll be giving my time to the corporate world, rather than business administration wise. Then I'll find time giving to the design as well. So I'm always jiggling among her. So I think for that I'll make it Once Upon a Time.
That's nice. So what advice would you give other creatives concerning the matter of contracts, like signing contracts with your clients?
Very necessary. I've had a lot of experience with that. I don't want to spill. I need to spill it out. It's getting out of hands. A lot of business owners in nearly net down to like general. A lot of business owners in Ghana, this part of our world. Truth is, most of them, I'm not saying all of them, most of them don't value creatives. They don't. Okay? But they will need you in their company. They definitely need you. Now, when the need arises for them to call for your service, okay, they will approach you, try to say something to lure you on board. Now, make sure, fellow creative out there, I'm saying this based on experience. Please, if you're not going to it and you think that, oh, Parry is just talking. Listen, I'm saying this on experience. As a creative, never enter into any projects, okay, with a business owner or a client in the name of I'm doing the person a favor. Alright. What you might feel like you are doing him a favor with a verbal agreement, later he will turn around and use those ones again. but you agreed that we should do this. Now they'll be demanding more from you than what's actually expected of you. And it becomes a bit problematic, especially in my case. I'm more of a generalist. Like, you know me, I do a lot of things. So you might need me for, let's say, just graphic design. But I get on board and realize I can do web design, I can do social media management, I create content as well, I edit. So once you discover those, now you will be expecting me to deliver those services in addition. Meanwhile, you've not paid for those services. This is where, if things have not been written down and signed, you have no backing. Okay, now it will be word against word. So can't be waging on my head. It wasn't so. So I learned my lesson. I think most of the projects that I do work on, you reach out to me, we discuss about the price. I send you an invoice. Okay. Now, if I send you an invoice with the price, before I start the project, I send you a pre-performer outline document. Now that document outlines my design process, how I'm going to solve that design problem for you, how long it's going to take, the point where it gets to that you need to review, the number of reviews you are entitled to. So my projects were entitled to, like, I think 2 reviews after stage 6. So after stage 6, you do your 2 reviews, you get to stage 7, you come in for review, you pay 80% of the initial amount. So all those things have been lined up. Then you make an initial payment, I think, of a percentage. I don't want to give that one out before we even start the whole thing. So once that money hits the account, then we kickstart. If you don't outline certain things like this, you work. I think I have an experience with that. I worked on a project, it was in Accra. The person will know. If I talk about the project, the person will know. They make a go Accra. It was a whole awards event, like from anything related to design about the awards, from flyers, backdrops, the screen display, motions, everything, single-handedly. I would do. I went to Accra. I met them at Accra Mall. We had some snacks at KFC. They paid for my TNT and all that to discuss the projects. They were even interested in moving me from Kumasi to base in Accra to work on. I was like, nah, I have other responsibilities in Kumasi as well. So I came back to Kumasi. Completed this whole project. Now time to take my money. We were not answering phone calls. We were not replying text messages.
You had no contract with them too. Like no written
contract. No contract. I think those were my early stage. That was, I recall it was the year before COVID. So these were some of the experience that made me learn the hard way. There was no contract or nothing. I did trusted them. For someone who has moved in from Kumasi to Accra, paid for your TNT and all that, you never doubt the person paying.
But being someone with a business background, why do you make that mistake?
Okay, so as at that time, too, I was managing a whole branch for a company in Kumasi. I think I was the operations manager. So sometimes the problem is I'll be having some inflow of cash somewhere. So sometimes I treat the designers, even if you're not source, I get some money. And the way he spoke to me, the way we had a discussion, it would be difficult for you to have an iota of doubt about everything he's saying. It took me like weeks. I had to start sending threatful messages. If you don't do this, I'll publish. Those things. Then finally he reached out. Oh, he went catch you. Now you know they make you evacuate from the premises. Now you don't get money, but you never know how you will talk me then. I talk and say. If you make a know. If anything there, like if you make a know. Sometimes maybe if you tell me I will say, okay, pay this amount. Make you not pay this. Or I will take that shit. But to ghost me entirely. The funny thing, I made amends with me. So now we are cool. Like I'm cool. I'm cool with that guy now. No. For what? We are now cool. We are like friends. Most of the times I do go to Accra and I meet him at other events. And I go to other big events in Accra and I meet him like, hey. But it's something I learned from. You never start any project without, even if you know the person, the people we think we know in our contact list. As I'm speaking to you right now, I have a client I've been working with for 4 years. Okay. I worked on a project for him 3 weeks ago. My money is still not in.
That's wild.
My money is still not in because I am treating that very particular person as, minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And those kind of loyal people, I don't really charge them. So, but it made me go back to my pre-performer outline again. So last week, I will be agile with the amount, and I will go with pre-performer outlines.
So contracts are bigger than relationships. Putting it that way.
Any day, anywhere. Unless probably you are doing it for fun, like my early stages when I just found the joy. I've been able to design this, I've been able to replicate this. I think those days I replicated GH1, TV3, Metro TV, their logo, and I put it, and all my friends were like, those days are past.
That happens when you're so trying to find your feet.
I think if we are not the best in the country, we are not the best in the region, we are still among the top there.
Yeah.
But currently, I think for Kumasi, there are a lot of great guys around, but I think with what I've done, I'm confident I've done it, especially when it comes to the billboard side. I think for that one, undisputed.
Yeah.
So the time I had my artwork on about 288 billboards. Currently, as we speak, I think about 4 currently. But the consistency is what I'm proud of. Because since 2022 till now, every single time I have a billboard in Kumasi there's a billboard in Kumasi that has my artwork on it. And I'm proud of that. Yes. So I will encourage the Kumasi designers to also look into that side as well. Because just that more of the time, the billboards we see here, designs are coming from different parts of the country and they mount it here. I think I'm one of the few in Kumasi who actually gets the work done here and being mounted here. So yeah, for that, yeah. I'm proud of myself.
That's beautiful. So I think we'll end our conversation here because of time.
Sure.
And I believe we'll still have to do this some other time. Yeah. So thank you very much for passing through. It's been an insightful convo. Personally, I've taken so much from you. Yes. Particularly on the business aspect of the whole creative thing. And I believe my people have also taken so much from you. So Charlie,
thanks for having me, my guy. Covers and conversation. Thanks for having me on your show.
So this has been it for today. Thank you for staying with us, and I'm out.